For Barcelona to take 3 points at San Mamés, two things were needed: a plan and a little luck. This round was important in the title race, so first of all, congratulations. Barcelona got the job done. The game in Bilbao came only 3 days after the exhausting second leg against Atletico, so a difficult game was expected. Athletic were not exactly fresh either. Ernesto Valverde's team had played their Copa del Rey semi-final against Real Sociedad on Wednesday, which meant they had 1 day less rest than Barcelona. So there is no reason to complain about the calendar. Both coaches had to rotate their squads. From Barcelona's side, the main curiosity was Flick's plan, especially with the Champions League game against Newcastle coming on Tuesday. Pedri, Rafinha and Firmino started on the bench, otherwise this was close to the strongest lineup available. It was also the first look at the defense without the injured Koundé and Bolden. Flick chose the expected solution: Eric on the right, Cancelo on the left, and García with Martin in central defense. In midfield, the partnership was Casado and Bernal, with Olmo playing behind Varane. Lamine and Rashford occupied the wings. In a perfect scenario, Ronnie might have started instead of Yamal, but the title race leaves little room for experiments. Real Madrid already beaten Celta, so Barcelona kicked off the match only 1 point ahead in the standings. The first half was mostly about survival. Just look at the XG from those 45 minutes. Barcelona struggled to find rhythm and the lack of pace was noticeable. The only moment that really worried Athletic came from Cancelo's run after a clever pass by Rashford. There was also a backheel attempt from Varane after a corner, but that was about it. Athletic did not create a flood of chances either, but their moments were more dangerous. Cancelo almost scored an own goal, Joan García had to save a one-on-one against Celta, and Robert Navarro failed to connect with Iñaki's run in the box. Athletic were doing exactly what they wanted. Sometimes they pressed high, sometimes they dropped into a mid block, and Barcelona struggled against both. Pedri's absence was obvious in midfield, and the team also missed the edge that Firmino and Rafinha usually bring in attack. Flick made the key change at halftime. Bernal, who had been dealing with stomach problems, came off. Pedri entered, and the game changed almost immediately. The ball started moving faster, the spaces were used better, and Barcelona finally looked alive. The first real chance, a little later, Marcus caused problems again with another cross toward García, and Varane was just centimeters away from turning it into the net. Athletic answered with a few dangerous attacks of their own, but Joan García dealt with all of them. His save from sunset at close range stood out, and that brings us to the first important moment of this game. Yes, Lamine Yamal scored the winning goal, but those 3 points started with Joan García. His saves, his work in the air, and his calm in difficult moments kept Barcelona in the match. Athletic had several chances, and the game could easily have gone another way. This season, that situation has appeared more than once. Over a long league campaign, there are always matches when the team does not play at its best. Those are the nights when the value of a goalkeeper becomes obvious. In previous seasons, Barcelona usually won when they dominated the game completely. This year, the team has also started winning matches that are messy, and Joan García is a big reason for that. The decision to sign him already looks very smart. Sometimes 3 points come from attacking quality. Sometimes they come from one save at the right moment. And that moment arrived shortly before the goal. In the 68th minute, Barcelona finally broke through. Pedri received the ball from Martin on the left, accelerated forward, and played a diagonal pass toward Lamine. Yamal shifted past Boiro and curled the ball into the top corner. Fermin Lopez also played an important role in that moment. His forward run pulled defenders away from the center and opened space for Lamine. Players with that kind of intensity are very valuable in Flick's system because they stretch the structure of the defense. By then, Flick had already made several changes. Torres, Rashford, and Olmo had left the pitch. Varane's numbers from this match were again very difficult to defend. They are all available in the Barcelona Live app if you want to check them. The link is in the pinned comment. Should this be his last start? What do you think? Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Firmino brought more speed to the game, but Athletic continued to attack as well. The game opened up and both teams were looking for space. Late in the game, Flick added more defensive stability. Araujo replaced Casado. The structure shifted again. Cancelo moved to the right, Araujo and García formed the central pair, Martin stayed on the left, and Eric stepped into defensive midfield. The adjustment helped. Barcelona held the lead during a very tense final stretch while Athletic continued to push forward. Hansi Flick summed the game up very simply after the final whistle. 1 less game and 3 more points. It's a perfect situation. Another interesting detail from this match was the evolution of Lamine Yamal's mentality. Here's what Flick said about Lamine after the game. He did not have his best game today, but you could still see that he decides matches. Lamine trained situations like this 1 against 1, and we are happy to have him at this level. His composure in the decisive moment really stood out. Last season, Yamal was already extraordinary, but now there's a calmness in front of goal that wasn't always there before. The numbers reflect that growth: 19 goals and 15 assists in 36 matches, 34 goal contributions already. That improvement matters a lot right now because Varane and Lewandowski are both struggling, and the team also needs Rafinha to come out of his current dip. Last season, Barcelona had 4 reliable scorers: Lewandowski, Rafinha, Lamine, and Ferran. This year, the main performers have been Yamal and Fermin. The others still need to raise their level. There was another detail in this game that could matter a lot ahead of the Champions League playoff match against Newcastle at St. James Park on Tuesday. And it's the way Flick handled the final minutes. Instead of keeping the defensive line extremely high, the team dropped a bit deeper. Barcelona became more compact, reduced the space behind the defense, and protected the lead without unnecessary mess. Who said Flick never adapts? That kind of adjustment is important in knockout football. Over 2 legs, game management matters as much as attacking intensity. And Flick himself sounded satisfied with what he saw. I'm always proud of my players and their team spirit. I really appreciate it. Today I'm happy because I wasn't nervous. What I saw in training is exactly what we want to see on the pitch. That quote also shows something important about the atmosphere around the team right now. The players believe in what Flick is asking them to do. This was not a spectacular Barcelona performance, but over a long season, games like this are inevitable. Not every game will be controlled from start to finish. Sometimes the job is to stay alive and leave with the points. That's what happened here. 3 points, and at the same time, Pedri, Rafinha, and Fermin got some rest. The calendar does not get any friendlier. Newcastle twice, then Sevilla, then Rayo, all teams that press hard and play with serious intensity. The main objective now is to protect the lead in La Liga and reach the Champions League quarterfinals. Honestly, I feel like by the time the international break arrives, these players will probably feel every kilometer in their legs. And that's it from me for today. If you enjoyed this analysis, support the video with a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. The decisive part of the season has already started. Congratulations on an important win. See you very soon. Have a great day. Bye. Ferran and Lewandowski are both. Lewandowski. 19 goals and 15 assists in 36 matches.
Culés, nada, muy contento por la victoria, vamos a por el martes, que va a ser una guerra.